The Cleveland Browns are locked in a high-stakes chess match that could reshape the future of this franchise for the next decade, and the moves being made right now are absolutely insane. We are talking about legendary 7-hour interviews, secret strategic plays from agents, and a bombshell Pro Bowl announcement that has the entire league talking about our young quarterback. If you thought the offseason was going to be quiet, buckle up because the news coming out of Berea right now is nothing short of a whirlwind. Before we break down this massive update from Adam Schefter, do me a huge favor and smash that like button, share this with every Browns fan you know, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a second of this chaotic coaching search. The intensity in Cleveland is reaching a boiling point today, and the clock is ticking louder than ever. According to the latest reports from the biggest insiders in the game, the NFL coaching carousel is spinning at light speed, and almost every single opening across the league is expected to be filled by Wednesday. Think about that for a second. We are potentially less than 48 hours away from knowing exactly who will lead this team, but the path to get there has become a total battlefield. Why does it feel like the Cleveland Browns are always the ones caught in the middle of a dramatic tug-of-war? Right now, the front office is locked in a room with Nate Scheelhaase. This isn't just a casual chat over coffee, we are hearing about marathon sessions that are lasting 7, 8, even 10 hours. The Browns are being more extensive and more analytical than any other team in the NFL right now. They are putting candidates through the ringer personality tests, deep dive essays, and grueling football philosophy sessions. Some people around the league are laughing at the process, but honestly, can you blame the Browns for being this thorough? This is the most critical decision this organization has faced in years. We've seen what happens when you hire a one-dimensional coach who can't adapt. This time, they are looking for a true leader, a tactical genius who can finally stabilize this ship. But here is where things get truly wild. While Nate Scheelhaase was sitting in the facility, literally in the middle of his interview, news broke that the Buffalo Bills scheduled an interview with him for that same night. You cannot make this up. It is a brilliant, calculated move by his representation. It's essentially a giant flashing neon sign saying to the Cleveland front office, if you want him, sign him now, because we are walking out that door and heading straight to a rival. It is the ultimate game of leverage. The Bills already tried to snag Grant Udinski, and now they are circling our top target like vultures. Question of the day, if you are in the Browns front office and you see Buffalo trying to steal Nate Scheelhaase mid-interview, do you pull the trigger and hire him immediately, or do you let him walk out the door and risk losing him forever? Comment your thoughts below. The dilemma here is fascinating because it's not just about Scheelhaase. It's about the ripple effect on the rest of the staff, specifically Jim Schwartz. Schwartz has been the heartbeat of this team's defense. He took a unit that was struggling and turned it into one of the most feared groups in professional football. There is a very real fear that if the Browns hire a 35-year-old like Scheelhaase, Schwartz might feel slighted. Imagine being one of the best coordinators in the game and getting passed over for a guy who was barely older than some of the players on the roster. The dream scenario is a pairing Scheelhaase as the head coach and offensive mastermind, with Jim Schwartz staying on as the highest-paid defensive coordinator in the league. That is the winning formula. That is the duo that could actually take this roster to the promised land. But will the egos in the building allow that to happen? Now, let's pivot to the absolute shocker that hit the wires regarding our young signal caller. Shedeur Sanders is officially a Pro Bowler. Let that sink in. A fifth-round rookie who stepped into a chaotic situation and showed flashes of absolute brilliance has been rewarded with a trip to the Pro Bowl. He is the first Browns quarterback to earn this honor since Derek Anderson back in 2008. Think about all the names that have come through Cleveland since then. All the draft picks, all the veterans, all the hype, and it's the rookie who finally breaks the curse. I know that critics will point to his interceptions or the fact that he was an injury replacement for Drake May. To that, I say, who cares? In a season where Cleveland fans have had to endure so much frustration, this is a massive win. Shedeur Sanders proved he belongs in the conversation. He showed he has the arm, the poise, and the it factor that this city has been starving for. If you are on the fence about whether or not he is the future of this franchise, how can you ignore this? Making the Pro Bowl as a rookie is a statement. It tells the incoming head coach that you don't need to go hunting for a veteran retread, you have a young star who the fans love and the players respect. This brings us back to why the coaching hire is so vital. We saw what happened with the previous regime. We saw how a lack of communication and a failure to develop talent led to the exit of guys like Baker Mayfield. The drama involving Baker calling out the lack of support he felt in Cleveland still stings because we saw him go elsewhere and prove he could be a franchise leader. The Browns cannot afford to repeat that mistake with Shedeur Sanders. They need a quarterback whisperer. They need a coach who doesn't just call plays but builds an environment where a young QB can thrive. That is why Nate Scheelhaase is so intriguing. He's worked under Sean McVay, he's played the position at a high level, and he has that modern offensive mind that the NFL demands today. The news regarding Grant Udinski pulling out of the race was a tough pill to swallow for some, especially since it feels like he'd rather stay as an offensive coordinator in Jacksonville than take the leap in Cleveland. But if a candidate doesn't have the fire or the desire to be here, then we don't want them. We need someone who sees the Cleveland Browns job not as a burden, but as the greatest opportunity in sports. This city is ready to explode for a winner. The foundation is there with a Pro Bowl quarterback and a top-tier defense led by Jim Schwartz. As we wait for the final word from the insiders, the tension is higher than it's ever been. Every hour that passes without an announcement feels like a week. Are the Browns overthinking it with these marathon interviews, or are they finally doing the due diligence required to win a championship? We've seen other teams rush into hires only to fire them 2 years later. Maybe this extensive process is exactly what the doctor ordered. One thing is for certain, the landscape of Cleveland football is changing right before our eyes. Whether it's Scheelhaase, Schwartz, or a surprise like Todd Monken or Anthony Lynn, the decision made this week will define the next decade for this team. Could you imagine the energy at the Pro Bowl seeing our rookie out there representing the orange and brown? It's a glimpse into a future that finally looks bright. We have the talent, we have the momentum, and now we just need the leader to glue it all together. The fan support for Shedeur was off the charts, and seeing him get the call over some of the biggest names in the AFC is proof that the Sanders effect is real. What a time to be a Browns fan. It's stressful, it's loud, and it's complicated, but it's never boring. Let's hope the front office doesn't let other teams dictate their future. Take the swing, get the right guy, and let's finally get to work. We are on the verge of something special, and I will be here to cover every single second of it. The search is nearing its end, the players are getting their flowers, and the North is up for grabs. Cleveland, the world is watching. Let's make sure we give them something to talk about. Don't forget to check back for the immediate reaction the moment the signature hits the paper. We are in the endgame now.